House Republicans voted Wednesday to nominate Majority Leader Steve Scalise to fill the Speaker seat.
We have a lot of work to do, not just in the House for the people of this country, but we see how dangerous of a world it is and how things can change so quickly. We need to make sure we're sending a message to people all throughout the world that the House is open and doing the people's business.
Congressman Scalise has been meeting with GOP members to get their backing in hopes of avoiding the same issues Kevin McCarthy faced. You may remember 10 months ago, McCarthy secured the gavel as Speaker after 15 rounds of voting. Last month, he had to work with Democrats to avert a government shutdown. Then last week, because of that deal, he was ousted as Speaker, the first time in history that's happened. On Wednesday, his replacement was chosen, potential replacement. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now from Capitol Hill. Nikole, the big question is, does Steve Scalise have the votes? He got just a few more than Jim Jordan in this secret ballot this afternoon. They were talking about voting at 3 o'clock. Then they pushed that back. We still don't know, I don't think, when an actual vote is going to happen. But does he have the votes?
Well, the short answer is no. Otherwise, I think we would have been through the voting process by now. And as of tonight, the House has adjourned and will reconvene Thursday at noon. So this is a process that is ongoing. Again, Steve Scalise is going to need 217 votes to be able to win as Speaker. He's unlikely to get any support from Democrats. They plan to stay in lockstep with their own leader, Hakeem Jeffries, which really means that Steve Scalise has to look within, find the votes within his party. Yes, he did emerge as the designated Speaker following the secret ballot today, but the vote was split. The final tally was 113 to 99. So clearly the Majority Leader has some work to do to build up more support.
I don't know if they were trying to potentially try to rush this vote earlier today to avoid all these messy backroom deals that McCarthy had to go through to win last time. But at this point, what is it going to take for Scalise to get the votes he needs?
Well, it is going to be tricky because there are a lot of differences, and it's not so much about the personalities, but it's really about the process and procedure. Some members did want to rally behind one person before moving this out to the floor, but that motion got defeated in this meeting that Republicans had earlier today. We have seen some members flip. For instance, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is one who says that she will now vote for Steve Scalise, but you have other members who are digging in their heels, including Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina. Spoke to her earlier today. Take a listen.
I'm just now learning about it, and given the district that I represent, I can in good conscience move forward at this time. I didn't know about it before last night. It was something brand new. I learned something new every day, and it's came to my attention last night from another member, and it gave me pause.
Involving Steve Scalise, and this is something dating back some 20 years where he addressed a white supremacist conference when he was a state representative. He has since apologized. This is something that surfaced when he first ran for leadership back in 2015, but Nancy Mace saying, well, I just learned about this now. It gives me some pause, and so that's one of the reasons she says that she will continue to back Jim Jordan. But other members have different reasons for sticking with Jim Jordan, but as of now, the number of individuals, while it's small, is enough to, basically prevent Scalise from becoming the Speaker. So really, in these next couple of days and hours, he's going to have to try to flip more votes. Otherwise, this process could be reopened again.
But Jim Jordan has indicated he'll support Steve Scalise, and Matt Gaetz, the one who led the revolt against Kevin McCarthy, also says he'll support Scalise.
That's right, but even that doesn't seem like it's enough to sway members. I mean, for instance, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of took a shot at Majority Leader Scalise, who, if people don't know, is currently battling blood cancer, and she posted online that, her father suffered from cancer and seemed to question whether or not he could be up for this job because of his health. Now, Steve Scalise has said that he feels great, that he feels up to the job and up to the challenge, but again, different members have different reasons reasons for why they aren't budging. And like I said, a lot of this doesn't necessarily have to do with the personalities, but just with the process, with the rules, whether that is this motion to vacate, which is how Kevin McCarthy was ousted, by allowing just any one member who can force a speaker's ouster. Many people want to change that rule. And like I said, there are other members who feel strongly that they should have rallied behind someone behind closed doors before they moved this to the House floor. So there's still a lot of internal issues they need to resolve as a conference.
All right, Nikole, thanks for hustling over to the camera for us and sticking around. We appreciate it. I know it's been a busy day there. Thank you.